Bestseller isn't the finish line, it's the foundation. AI can write your book. It could even do it in a day, but it can't give it meaning. That has to come from you. Most authors stop when they hit that number one, when they hit best new release. But that's the moment when your impact is just beginning. If you've ever thought, I did everything right, why isn't my book working? Why am I not getting what I need? This live today is for you. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I'm a 39-time #1 international best-selling author, and I'm your transformational visibility architect, the founder of Thriving Bestsellers. For nearly 40 years now, I've helped thousands of authors, experts, and people just like you cut through the noise by teaching you how to market, but also, and more importantly, helping you remember who you are, because clarity is possible. When you know the truth of what's real and of who you really are, your message works. AI can mimic your words, but it cannot mirror your worth. You need to know that, feel that, and live in it. And in today's world, the difference, the human, the clarity that comes from you knowing you, that's what's going to make you visible and valuable. And that is what's going to get you paid. Are you excited about that? Are you ready to talk about it? I know I am. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today, we want to talk about bestseller. It isn't success. It's permission to start. It's not the end. It's the beginning. It's not the end all be all. It is the launch. It's the starter pistol for this journey that you are meant to win. Absolutely. You're amazing. You're incredible at who you are and at what you do. And the world needs exactly you. We need you to show up to be who you are. It feels like sometimes, I know, and I get this question all the time from people, so I'm sure you're feeling it inside too. It feels like, everybody's a bestseller these days. Bestseller means absolutely nothing. Now, here's statistic reality. First of all, statistically speaking, only, there'll be about 2 million books that'll be published again in 2025, might even eke up to 2.5 million. And it's been consistently that way since about 2000. So, in the last 5 years, there's more than, or at least, 8 to 10 million new books that have been published. Okay. Now, what I can tell you from experience is that somewhere around approximately 3.5% of those books ever make it onto any list anywhere ever. Okay. In fact, the average book sells less than 40 copies ever in its entire lifetime. Okay, so most of the books that you look at on Amazon, they're going to, if you went down to the product details section, they would show nothing. Okay, and I can tell you from experience that if you make your book a bestseller and you're not doing something with that, and you haven't ridden on, on that start, on that foundation. If the starter pistol goes off and you don't run the race, you're not going to win. Okay, it's a start, it's a beginning, it's a day one launch strategy. It's not the end. It's where we start. Okay, and if you only do that, you'll go back and I told you I've got 39 books. You can go back through most of them. They have 0 to very few reviews. They have often nothing, or they're like in the 5 or 10 million version. Okay, I'm getting ready to redo Bestsellers on the Beginning with all of the very cool things that I've learned and that we've developed, and especially really addressing everything that has to do with AI and the writing of the books and all those kind of things. So I'm going back and I'm revisiting that book. That was my 20th book. And we had a big celebration about that. And before we move forward into other books and into other things, we need to really do that, because that really is, and you really need to understand that starter pistol, if you will, for that. Secondarily, I may probably, in fact, will redo that cover, because if you look at my face, you can see I still feel really pudgy today, but I have lost quite a bit of weight. I've lost about 120 pounds from the picture that was on the cover of that. And that makes a big difference too. So like I said, feeling kind of puffy today. So, today might not be the day to do that picture, but, and maybe I won't redo it, but I'm thinking about probably. So anyway, that was a total distraction from what we're talking about. We need to look at how you bring your book back to life too. Okay, I'm going to be doing this for you all month long, showing you, not just telling you, but showing you with that book and giving you the step-by-step detailed information. All right, because Bestseller is only the beginning. Bestseller is your day one launch strategy. It's where you're going to start, and I've got the other pieces for you. Now, there's two groups of people. Some people are like, three technically, okay? Some people have never written their book. They know they need to, but they just never have done it, okay? And in that category, there's both the people who know exactly what they want to write and they haven't written it, and more so the people who are like, I'm not totally sure what I'd write, okay? Then there's group two. Those are the people that have written their book, but they either never published it or they put it out once and did absolutely nothing with it. And then there's group three, and that's the group of people who did write, publish, probably even made their book a bestseller, and they're now struggling what to use with it. And I've got you covered on all three of those angles, because the answer is still the same. Number one, it's clarity. Okay. Number two, it's consistency, so that number three, you can connect. You need to really, truly connect with your authors. And I'm going to be sharing with you both this. I'm quote unquote calling this month. I'm stealing a page from the playbook of the people that are already selling Christmas decorations, and I'm already moving us into the holiday season. At the end of this week, for those of you listening live, it's Sunday, the 26th. Friday will be Halloween. And because I'm trying to stay away from the evil candy anyway, I'm going to hop right over that. And really already start focusing on our holiday extravaganza that we've done for more than a decade now. We do every year over the Thanksgiving holiday, all the way from Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, through Cyber Monday. And you can use all 5 of those days or other things. And I'm going to be sharing right out loud with you exactly the things that I'm going to be doing. The preparation of the book, the how do I look at it, how do I know, and all the research elements of those kind of things. So if you need to update your book, if you've been saying, that book needs a little bit of help, okay, you can follow along and you can DIY it right with us. Now, some of you, what you really need is you need a clarity coach. I am so blessed to have Judy in my life. Judy is an amazing story developer. She can get inside of your skull, it feels like, in a good way, and really know and see and understand who you are and help you articulate that out, and be able to just through casual questions say, hey, what if we said it this way? Well, what were you meaning here? What were you meaning there? Can help you. So if you need to update that book and you need help with that, we absolutely have that. And Judy most definitely does need some work for November. She's got a couple of projects, which she's got room for a couple more. And yes, that's a paid situation. And really, honestly, at this point, when I talk about you working with Judy, I'm talking about a fee that's going to go completely all to her. Okay, so I'm not looking at me making any money off of this. And honestly, she's got a baby that's due right around the first week of December or so. So she's going to be then out for 6-8 weeks, and we will totally absolutely miss her. So, but she's really, really dedicated to wanting to really make an impact and a difference this month, so that she can then really enjoy all of the Christmas season and the birth of the baby and everything, with her bow and all of those kind of things. Uh, so, we've got that available to you too. We need to rebuild credibility. It's a flooded, AI saturated market. You can do 2 seconds of research and you can find out really, really quickly that most everyone is complaining that, everybody, and it cracks me up because the things people complain about aren't what they really are complaining about. Oh, that was done by AI. I can tell because it has the M dash. That's the long dash rather than the short dash. Me personally, I could care less whether you have AI help you with those kind of things, because we're going to know really quickly whether it's your voice, whether you've worked with AI on it, or you just told it, write me a book in the style of Terry Brooks about this blah blah blah, and all of those AI books. Even with that, because without that nuance of clarity and understanding and knowing who you are. And that's why the world's complaining, there's too much of it. And everybody's posts these days are just AI generated, and on and on and on. Okay, first of all, when you do write the thing, you need to go back through it and you need to look at it. You need to be like, well, yeah, but I wouldn't say it that way. You need to know the clarity up front, and then you need to bring the clarity back in on the backside. Okay, but the market feels flooded. The reality of it is now there's never been a better time to put a book out, because as much as all of those things are being said, and even people are saying, yeah, but bestseller means nothing. Like I said, only about 3.5% of all the books that come out will ever make it on any sort of a list. And of that, because I have like about 98% of my people actually make it to number one, and about 95% of them actually also rank in another country. It's a little higher than that. My statistic is probably a little low, but I'd rather underpromise that with you. We guarantee your book is going to make it onto the bestseller list. I don't guarantee number one, because there have been a few times when a book hasn't. But most of that's on me. And I've got the systems in place to be able to do that. To give you an idea, Willie and I, we wrote the book Magnetized Media, and it has enjoyed being on the bestseller list from the minute. Well, yeah, really, actually, it made the bestseller list before our launch day, from some of the just setup things that we were doing in SEO, and it's been on the bestseller list ever since. And don't quote me on this, but I want to say we put that out in May, give or take. Okay, May or June, but I want to say it was May that we put it out. I could look it up, but I'm not going to have you watch me using the internet right now, okay? And over that time, it's always been on the bestseller list. It was, as of last Wednesday, it was number 22 in its main category. And then it had two other secondary and tertiary categories, and both of those were in about the 500s. And honestly, the book was, like 5 millionth on the overall Amazon list. Okay, so whatever. But it was still a bestseller because it still is selling really well. We did a campaign, same campaign that I have all structured out and ready for you, because it's not about, and I'm going to teach you that all of the things with the making the landing page and stuff that I've taught myself, those are antiquated now. There's a new way for us to do this. And there's a way for us to maximize and optimize the power that all of the marketing money that Amazon spends and all of the money that they drop into Google to bring their stuff to the top, how to be able to do that. We took that book, so we took it back to number one in one category. Going to 22, from 22 to number one is amazing. But then we also took both of those 500s. One of them was number two and one of them was number three. And excitingly, the book went one day, it topped out at 38,000 overall of all the books on Amazon. Now you got to keep in mind, okay, there's about 50 or 60 million. It might be more like 70 or 80 million now. My statistic is a couple of years old on that. Books that are available for sale on Amazon. 38,000 out of all of those. Okay. Now I've had an author that made it to number 84 out of all. In fact, I actually had one that made it to number 59 out of all books on all of Amazon. So we can do that. But all of those then, again, they're momentary credentials. You need an ongoing, intentional marketing plan. You need to know how to do that. And you need to have the follow-up stuff, because your book is not where the money is. It never was. It never will be. Your book is going to lead people to you. It builds, first of all, your know, like, and trust, so that people know you, like you, and trust you, because we buy from people that we know, like, and trust, and then leads them gently and in a very persuading way to your program, your package, to let those people be able to powerfully take what you've taught them and run with it and really see success in their life, and allows you to make money. And we can get you, so that we can get you sales every day, every week, I should say. And we can get you reviews. Either we can get you to a certain level of reviews, or we can ongoingly get you reviews. We've got all those in place, done in an ethical, compliant way. So we're not talking about risking your book or any of those kind of things, or breaking any of the rules. We're talking about doing it completely in an upfront manner to be able to really, truly serve you. Got all of those things. And we're going to be going through all of that this month.